Hello again, and what I'd like to do now is I'd like to apply the Microlon Gun Juice to the bolt and the receiver of my bolt action rifle. Now, this being an Anschutz, the bolt has already been lapped in at the factory, that's what they do. But I expect to get some kind of improvement in the actual smoothness of the action of the bolt by using the Microlon. It certainly can't hurt, and in a lot of rifles it will make a great deal of improvement, and you'll notice the smoothness of cycling the bolt is increased considerably. Anyway, to do that, being lazy, I've left the scope on the gun. I recommend you take the scope off, only because that's the thorough way of doing it. I'm cheating by just covering up my scope with some foil to reflect the heat away. I'm going to heat everything up using a hot air gun, the same kind you'd use for stripping paint or any other kind of application you'd use one of these things for. I don't know what else you'd use it for actually, except for stripping paint. But anyway, that's what I'm going to use. And I've already, taken the bolt out of the rifle. Here it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the action here with this, and then I'm going to heat up the bolt. So let's get going with this first. Okay, that action is now quite warm, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper towel. I'm going to wad it up a bit, fold it neatly, in this case, take my gun juice, which has already been shaken up. It's important to make sure you shake it before you apply it to anything, because whatever's in it needs to be redistributed throughout the solution. Then on the paper towel, again, I'm wearing gloves. I learned my lesson last time I did this. This stuff is so good, it just escapes and it goes everywhere. You'll find that everything you touch with it is coated in a billion little ball bearings, or it feels like it anyway. So I'm going to take that now, and I'm going to wad it up like this, and I'm going to try, and I'm just going to poke it in there. I've got a cleaning rod here. Just going to use that to help it get in there. The idea is just to get some gun juice coated all the way through. Let's go around here. Get some gun juice coated all the way through. There we are. Right the way through, so that all the interior raceways have got a coating of gun juice on them. That's interesting. Yeah, pulled out. I even cleaned this, but it's pulled out a little bit more crud, but there you are. It's just a byproduct, I guess. By the way, while I'm doing this, remember that Microlon also do a range of cleaning products as well for rifles and other things, which I will be demonstrating sometime in the future, i.e. when I get hold of some. Because if it's all as good as this, it's certainly going to be worth demonstrating. Okay, so what I've done now, I think I've got a fair amount of the gun juice actually inside the receiver. Let that sit there for a minute, because what I'm going to do now, put a little more on my swab here. Now this swab is thoroughly saturated with the stuff. Always remember to put the top back on the bottle. You just do not want to drop this, spill it everywhere, because I've got a feeling it's going to hang around for ages. If you do, wiping it up probably isn't just the answer. So again, what I'm doing, I'm coating the surfaces of the bolt, and also I've got this uncocked. I'm just going to cock it. There we are. I'll just get some of the gun juice actually inside the mech there, because where the little cam is that cams the bolt, the firing pin open, anybody who knows a bit about bolt action rifles will know exactly what I'm talking about. That cam is obviously going to be a pressure point, so getting some gun juice to work in there is going to be a great thing. And also inside the little groove, the guide groove on the bottom there, and all the other various bits. Right, so I've got gun juice all over this. Dump that down there. Obviously I'm going to have to reheat my action in a minute, but I'm going to do this now. Get the bolt nice and warm. With this heat gun it won't take long. Yep, that's getting pretty hot already. Now I'm going to just make sure that my action is also nice and hot. Good way of getting any air in there is to shoot it through the end. Right in there. That'll get it nice and warm. I can smell the heat on the gun juice, so I know that that's pretty warm now. Now the next thing is getting the bolt back in. Oop. Gotta cock it. Put it in here. There we go. Now, anybody who owns an Anschutz will know that getting the bolt to go back in is not the easiest thing in the world. There we are, I've done it. It's because of that little lever there. Right, okay, wow, that's hot. So now we're in business. Now all I have to do is keep cycling this bolt. A few hundred times. Because, you know, you're really working that solution into the steel. It actually does feel very slick. I mean, it was pretty good before, but it feels nice. It feels very, very nice. So basically, that's all there is to it. Heat, a bit of gun juice, and a little bit of working to and fro. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel the difference now. Definitely. And I know that this bolt is a very, very good tight tolerance fit, but it's not binding at all. It feels really, really very, very nice. And there's no oil on this at all. It's completely clean of oil. So there you have it. There's your gun juice on the bolt. And when I've worked out the way of actually getting the gun juice into my trigger assembly, I'll do a video about that as well. But in the meantime, I think that was worthwhile. I can certainly feel a difference here. When I've got the whole gun back together again, it'll probably make a lot more sense. But anyway, in the meantime, go and buy it. It's great. I love it. What can I say?